Hi everyone, welcome back. This is Deborah and today I'm going to be showing you how to recycle old postcards. Now I have a number of old postcards here and the images on them, I just don't like the images. They're not mine. I actually got them when my mother-in-law passed away last year. I kept them all because they're all blank on the back and I thought I like the blank part on the back but I don't like the images. So today I'm going to recycle them and turn them into something that I would use within a junk journal. Now these are just a standard 6x4 postcard and I've got out a piece of Stamperia paper. It's actually the cover from one of the paper pads, but this side here is really nice. So I thought that I can use it. Now I don't want to cover that part because that part's good for journaling. What I want to do is cover what I call the ugly part, which is the picture on the front. So to that end, I'm going to be covering that with this paper. Now I'm not going to stick that down there obviously, or I'll end up with the cover of my journal on the back of my postcard, but I'm going to cut it. So first of all, I will start by trimming this paper to 4 inches. Now I know that my postcard is 6x4. Most postcards are. So I've got that there. Okay, and I've got the pretty thing on the back, so I can start by sticking this down. Now if you have trouble with this coming up because the surface is quite shiny, you can just get your sanding block and sand over the top of it, and that will take away that shininess. The glue I'm using doesn't seem to have that problem, but I just thought I'd mention that if you're using a different type of glue that won't keep sticking on this sort of shiny surface, that's a way around it. So if I put that down and then fold this over, I could score it, but I don't think I need to. I just will make sure I've got that there and then get my score tool, which is Runaway, there it is, and make sure that it wants to pull back because it hasn't been folded yet. So you have to hold it fairly well and then score that. Now that should score down in the center. So if you're doing a journal that is 6 inches wide, that's going to fit in as a page anywhere within the journal. The other thing you could do is you could have it as a little open up one, so you could stick it on the page and have it so it opens up like that. But obviously I need to cover this because that is the outside of the paper pad, so it's the branding and I don't want that there. Now the easiest way would be just to put another postcard down like that, and then I could have that as a page in my book with a postcard on either side. So for this one, that's what I'm going to do. But I'm going to do a couple more because I had an idea and this wasn't one of them. I just thought of that as I was looking at it, but I think that it's a good one. So now I've got another page ready to go in the journal, any of my journals, and it's got that on the front. Then you would come into the center postcard or into wherever you put this, and then that on the back, and obviously you could decorate that up. But this is more about just some ideas at the moment on what to do with these old postcards. So this is going to be the next one. What I'm going to do this time is I'm going to cut this paper so it is now 12 by 8. I'm going to cut it at the 6 inches so that it becomes a an 8 by 6 piece of paper. So you've got 2 8 by 6s, and this one is going to go down the bottom here, and this will become a pocket this time. I'm going to make this into a pocket in the journal. Before I do that, I want to put something on the top of it. So because I really thought, well, what am I going to put on the top of it? I think what I'll now do is I'm going to score it instead. So I just will fold this just down like that. Get it so it's nice and lined up with the edges, and let's fold that down. That way I can now glue this, and so I don't have any of the branding showing. I also now have a smaller piece of paper, so when I put my postcard on here I can add that as a pocket within the journal. Let's pop the glue down, making sure I've got it on the correct edges, of course, so that the postcard is up. And then I can put something like that in that pocket. So I've got a nice little pocket there ready to go in the journal, like that. Now obviously when you put the pocket down, you're going to stick that down, and that's okay. You'll lose the back of that, but I don't mind that. But if you didn't want to lose the back of that, there was a couple of things you could have done. First of all, I could have not cut that apart, so I would have had 2 pages like that. Or alternatively, I can put something else on this side. So I've got these, which are postcards as well. Having a postcard theme today. So I could actually put this as a page on that side of my journal if I wanted to. So I could put some washi down. So I think, will I do that? I don't think I want to cut those postcards apart. So I'm going to try something else instead. I have this piece, which is just a piece of Tim Holtz paper. It's almost the right size, but not quite, but it will do for the purposes of this. And I have some washi tape here, and also my double-sided tape. I'm going to make sure I'm on the right or the correct side, the side I want to be on. And I put some double-sided tape down. Actually, I'll put those two together like this, just so they're roughly in the center. Doesn't matter if they're not perfectly centered, because you're really not going to see that. Cut this off here, and now I'm going to run some washi across that. I'm only putting the double-sided tape down because it will mean the washi won't move. The washi will stay where it's meant to be. And then I think I need to run the washi up there. I suppose I can though. No, I don't think I will actually. I think I'm going to leave that washi. Maybe I'll just take it down here to the postcard. Mainly because it's stuck onto the page, and I knew if I ripped it off it would make a white mark, and I didn't want that to happen. And just position my ruler and rip that off. And then for the bottom part, I'm actually going to cut that. I'm going to cut that round so that, and into this, because they're different sizes, just slightly, but they are different. So now I'm going to have the page like that. The postcard will be on that side, and that ticket is really up the wrong way, and I didn't want that to be up the wrong way. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to probably fold that in or fold that out. Let me see which one. I might actually fold that like that. Just put up with the ticket being on the wrong thing. I'm just randomly scoring that down there. So I've got that piece, and I could make that into a pocket as well, but I might leave it so I've got this whole surface to work on. So that would be just creating basically a small page and of course a pocket out of this. So if I pop that in there, that's a little reminder to myself that I actually have made a pocket in there. So that would be another way to use them. And now I've got a couple of them here. And what I thought I would do this time is I'm going to stick them together, and then what I'm going to use is some of this Tim Holtz paper that I had left over when I did my sister's school report books, because I thought if I put a piece in there, It's going to act like a hinge of sort. So that will go there. Okay, and I think I'll cut this down just so that it is 6 inches. And then I will stick this here. So I really want to put this in here because you can see where I've pulled it out of the paper pad. It's torn the edge of it and I don't want that to show. I'm going to put that in there. And then I'm going to get the other postcard and put it back to back, making sure they're both up the right way, of course. Up the correct way, so that postcard piece is at the top of both of them. And run my glue around and then pop this here. Okay. Make sure my postcards are lined up while the glue's still wet. And then fold that and score it. And so again, that could go into your journal. Now you could either stick this down on the page like that, or you could leave that as a little page on the other side. So if I pull this back, you could have that like that. So you'd have your postcard and then you've got 2 lots of places to write, one on either side of that. That's just another idea. And of course you could also put that one in. So if I use this one, you could have like that. I probably wouldn't put both of these together in the one journal like that. They can go in the one journal, but I'd like to separate them out with some full-size pages. But they're quite good actually. Yeah, I like that. Now I've got more. I actually have quite a few of these. And they're all blank on the back, which is great because it's providing a writing surface. I think that she just collected them as souvenirs of the places that she'd been. And, you know, that's not a bad idea. I do that myself. But if you don't like what you've selected when you get home, or you've got hold of somebody else's and you think, well, I don't really want that, it doesn't mean anything to me, then I think that this is quite a good use of those. Now this one here, I wanted to just maybe score it. I'm just thinking of some other ideas to give you. Actually, I'm going to score that. Get my scoreboard. And I don't want to fold it because the card is thick. And it's actually, even though it's 6 inches, I'm going to score it slightly off because the line is slightly off the 6 inch mark. It's just at that 1/4 of an inch, actually it's 1/8 of an inch less than the 6 inch mark. I've scored that down there, and then if I fold it back like this, then you've got like a little surface on one side and a surface on the other. Now I want to put something on that, and maybe, just maybe, this will be a good thing to use for those leftover bits of 3 inches that I've got, the Tim Holtz stuff. Actually, that's really good. That's going to go on there quite well. I'm actually going to, yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do this time is, again, I'm just creating another tiny little page to go in a journal, either a big journal or even a little journal. You do a whole journal full of these. And I'm sticking that on so my receipt is where I want it to be. So I'm going to cut the top and the bottom off in this instance. And also I need to cut the edge off here. I'll just grab this and do that. Let's see. Cut that off. Have to cut this side off next. And then the bottom bit here. They can go into the bin. And then I've got somewhere there to write, I've got somewhere here to write, and then I've got that little image there. Now I need to put something else on here. So I'm just thinking what that can be, and I guess I could just do another little bit of paper on there, couldn't I? And I probably am going to put some washi down once I've done that. I'll see how it goes. I'll see how it goes. Now, I like this bit here, but I think the problem is, because when I scored that, remember, it wasn't as wide on one side as it is on the other. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the glue on, and then I'm going to trim the postcard this time, not the paper. I'll also trim the paper. I want that little diary thing there, that's nice. And I'm going to get that in there as best I can, remembering that that will be bound. Yep. Okay, so now I'm going to trim that. See if I can get that to trim up well. That's fine. And then on this side, I'm going to cut that because it's just slightly crooked for some reason. But by using the edge of the postcard to run my scissors along, you can get a really clean edge on that. And then this one I'm going to cut. Actually, I'm going to turn it up the other way. Make sure I get that edge off there. There you go. And I haven't lost anything by doing that. I've still got all that postcard in there. And I've got this cute little page. Actually, I might do another one of those because then I can do sort of a little booklet with that. Okay, so let me just score this one to start with. And once again, I'm going to score so it's down that edge. Actually, I'm going to score in the same place, even though the line is slightly to the right of that. So I kind of want them a similar size, if not the same size. And then this is a great use for these little 3x3 inch papers, especially because this is the one with the little images on it. So it's actually got, these images are 4x3, so it actually is working out quite well to put this on. Alright, so we'll put one on this side, and then I will do the second one and we'll see what it looks like when we put it together in a little booklet. I just never thought of doing that until just then. Okay, so that's there. Now I want to cut this one up first. Just working out, just position that and cut that along there. And then I'll try another piece. See what else I've got that looks good. I don't want to use the same pieces though, so I have to try and find something else. That one's kind of on its side, but I don't suppose that matters much, does it? If I have that on the side there. Just see, get that in there. Okay. I think that's pretty good. All right, I'll stick this one down. Just get that nice and straight. Now I am going to trim this down because it's a tiny bit over the edge, that postcard. I'm just going to take the very edge of that off. You saw how much I took on that. Hopefully it's literally a sliver. And I'll try and just get this edge off too. That might be a bridge too far, I think. Okay, now I want to take this now. So where's my pencil? Keep losing things, I don't know. Oh, here it is. I'm just going to make a mark so I can trim this to a similar size. I've just managed to get that on the very edge of that line. And then if I do these, then put them together. In fact, I could turn it the other way, I think. That might be a good idea. There you go. I've got this little booklet. Place to write, postcard, place to write. And because I've used that paper, which has got the 3x4 inch images on it, it's turned out quite well. You could even do one in like this. So you could have your pretty paper in the center and rebuild your postcard almost like this. And then that would be that side. So you could do that into a little mini book. Not a bad idea. Or you could just use these in your big journal and put them all together. So if I look at where we are now, and I will grab the pages that I did yesterday. So these are the pages that I did in yesterday's video, and I thought maybe I'll just put all this together so we can have a look what it would look like, because these are both the big pages and then I've got my postcard pages. So if I just pop these in, and then maybe I can put this bigger one in here. So this one is, let's see, there, and then I can put this one, and then maybe a couple of these littler ones in. So you can see how this might look when it's together. So I might put this one in here like this. Doesn't have to be in the same place. And obviously if I have more big pages, it's going to be a better look than perhaps what I'm getting at the moment. But you can see that, you know, the pages are all different sizes, and these are great. Plenty of journaling space. And I've recycled those old postcards rather than just throwing them away. And of course the other thing you can always do is, if I get, I've only got this postcard. I don't think I've got any more of the postcards with that on them, but I've got these other ones which are the botanical ones. But you could also cover those postcards if you didn't like them, and then of course you use them as a thing in your pocket. So I could pop those in there as well. So that would be something else that you could do. But I really like these little baby ones. They're very cute. And then of course if you didn't like that centerpiece like that, then just take some washi and run it across here. If you were doing a little journal, you might not have to do this, but I don't think it hurts to have the washi through the center like that. And then you've lost all that blue that's in the middle there. So I think that that's actually a pretty good idea to add that slight bit of washi on there as well, rather than just leaving it blank like it is. As you can see the difference here, I've got the postcard showing, although I guess you can't really even see that, only if you knew that that was there. It's not really obvious that it's a postcard on this side. Obviously it is when you turn it over, but because I've got the brown paper and it's got a bit of the blue in here, the blue stamp, you can't even tell really, so you probably don't need to have the washi. It's just an optional extra if you wanted to put the washi on. So that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed that and it's given you some ideas. Thank you for watching. This is Deborah. Cheers.